The Supreme Court of Saudi Arabia decided this week to endorse a previous ruling issued by a Saudi court sentencing a well-respected scholar, Sheikh al-Nimr, to death. The Supreme Court in Saudi Arabia had endorsed and ratified this ruling, and it is ready for execution unless the King of Saudi Arabia would interfere and would put that sentence on hold. Now the question, what did this man do? What is his crime? What did Sheikh al-Nimr do to deserve death sentence? You may wonder, did he murder someone? Of course no. Did he attack someone physically? No. What did he do that he deserves death sentence? We ask the Saudis, tell us, what did this man do? They will tell you that he criticized the Saudi government and the Saudi royal family in his Friday speeches. Now, is this enough a crime to condemn someone to death? To sentence a well-respected scholar to death simply because he dared to criticize a corrupt family? Thanks Allah that we don't live in Saudi Arabia. We have the freedom to say what we believe. And we have the freedom to criticize any government, including our own government. Thanks God that we have this freedom to express our belief without the fear of any government persecuting us. And I would like to point out this to the US government. I don't care about the Saudi government because they will not listen to anyone. They are so arrogant to accept an advice from any person. However, my anticipation from our US government to tell their best ally in the Middle East that you should not execute a man simply because he criticized your tyrannical rule. People in this country can criticize the president, the vice president. Any person is not immune from criticism. People have the freedom of expression in this country. But in Saudi Arabia, if you dare to criticize the king, and if you dare to expose the corruption of the royal family, then you will be condemned to death. And you will be tried in the Saudi court because you have crossed a red line to them. I ask you, my dear brothers and sisters, all of you, especially those who speak English, those who can communicate on the internet, please make sure that you raise your voice on social media, on the internet, by signing letters to the White House, to State Department, to not allow Saudi Arabia to execute this man, a great man, a courageous man, who happened to be courageous enough just to criticize his own government, to shed some light on the grievances of his own community, to shed some light on the injustice that over 2 million Saudis in the eastern part of Saudi are suffering from. So we need to speak up before it is too late. We all have a responsibility to speak up and to send a petition to politicians, to our US senators and Congress representatives, demanding that Saudi Arabia should be pressured not to execute this man, not to execute this scholar, well-respected scholar. And by the way, my dear brothers and sisters, I am being told that next Friday, exactly a week from now, there will be group of brothers and sisters heading to Washington, D.C. to protest the execution of Sheikh al-Nimr before the Saudi embassy and the White House next Friday. And then they will be departing Thursday night, next Thursday night at 12 a.m. And you will be notified through social media on where to meet on Thursday night at 12 a.m. The whereabout, the location, soon inshallah on the social media. But just to let you know, for those brothers and sisters who are capable of going and participating, I believe it's a must. Because the Quran says, وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. If you can prevent the execution of this scholar, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you with the reward of someone who had revived the entire and saved the entire mankind. So please, for those brothers and sisters who can join, please do not hesitate. Please do not have a second thought. Try to be there. There will be buses leaving next Thursday night, inshallah, heading to Washington and coming back immediately to Dearborn right after the demonstration in Washington, D.C.